Over the last couple of years, we've been able to develop a photography and graphics communication program here at Landstown High School that allows students to understand the importance of the color psychology when they're learning how to develop and design photographs. They learn about image competition, which I think really improves a photographer's or graphic artist's ability to create, because they get feedback from professionals that allow them to improve on their work, adjust and change things. Students also learn about how to edit digital images using Photoshop and Adobe Lightroom. They also are learning about the color triangle, how to create a good exposure and depth of field, how they use a camera to tell a story. And that's really the important part. Using the PPA standards, the Professional Photographers of America's standards on what makes a good merited image, we have 12 ideas that include storytelling and impact, technical, and all about presentation. So students throughout the year that they are in the photography program learn how to create a storytelling impactful image. But so far this year, I'm excited about how the students did at this contest, because what they've learned over the last 6 months is just telltale in how much they pay attention and how enthusiastic they are about learning how to do more creative things.
I think of telling a story with a photograph. The first thought usually is I'm not that good at it, but what I would want to be able to do is to be able to see things the way I see them in my perspective in my head, and to be able to capture that all in one picture and show it. And so when other people look at it, they can see exactly just what I thought of how beautiful a picture is and what it means to me, and hopefully what I'd really hope is what it would mean to them, because good art is always up to the interpretation to the audience.
There were 88 student entries into the print competition, and 45 Landstown students attended the judging in Richmond, observing live judging from Club 79.
Well, this is the first year we've offered a student category where students in high school or college would be able to enter their photographs in our competition. We're such a visual group of photographers. We learn visually by creating photographs, but then getting feedback from our fellow peers on how to make our photographs better. So with the help of our board, we created a new category just for student entries, a way to introduce students to the real world of professional photography from an all-day perspective. So all of the photographers that interacted with the students were all full-time photographers making a full-time living in photography, and those were also the judges at our event. Now, we are fortunate enough to bring in the absolute best qualified and sanctioned judges that are actually ranked to to judge any photographic competition in the world. So it was really great to see that the students brought a level of competency that we haven't seen even from some of our professionals in that particular genre that you created for them. So it was really fantastic to see someone who has raw talent but hasn't been guided by society's rules yet in order to make great imagery.
82, Josh.
I did learn that while I did take time with making the image, there's always room to make more time to actually make your image as best as you possibly could, because they did talk about how there was like a white line throughout the top part that kind of obscured it a bit. So I could know that when I do make the image in the first place, I can make sure that other like pieces too that shouldn't be there are like excluded from it.
I was blown away. These kids, they came in, they were ready, they came right in, they sat right down, they were ready to watch the judging, they were excited when we did, so that a bunch of them stayed in the Club 79 where they could talk and have a little more fun, and then they came through in maybe groups of 6 or 7, and when they came into the dark room where we're judging and everything is quiet and everything's supposed to be so pristine, and I could see their faces. I was calling names names and calling titles and calling scores, and to see them in the back. And it was really funny when maybe one of their images happened to come up when when their image came up when their image was being judged, and they happened to be in the room. Like the one young lady, and I had mispronounced the name, but she kind of giggled and rolled along with it, and I was really impressed with their reactions and their willingness to listen and to learn and go to the next level.
When they were talking about it, I was like, wow. At first I was like, yeah, that's right, because I realized that I knew that it was about to say my picture, because it was like, how do you say this? And then I was like, oh, that's my picture. And it was like, Mana, but that's not really how you say it. It was different. But yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, that was actually good. And then they challenged it because it was different viewers. Like, they had different opinions on it.
3 Landstown students received a superior rating for their images. Kira George for Bursting Sunbeam, Sean Crumbles for Umbra Rosia, and Renzo Munoz for The Abyss. 6 students received an excellent rating, and 29 students received the deserving of a merit score.